Hello, Abraham. Thank you for everything. I'm here because I'm kind of stuck on something. I've done a lot of healing over the last decade, and it's been an interesting journey, and I've appreciated all that I've learned. Part of what happened with that is when I would have a strong intention that I'd want to heal, I would have an experience where I would get a recall of some kind of trauma. And it usually seemed like what I would call a past life. I never wanted to ever know anything about that, but it would come up. And then I would say, okay, I get why that came. About, 2 or 3 years ago, I was in a workshop where I was doing some very intense guided meditations. And in one of those, I was guided to go to a place where there were many beings, and one stood up and gave me a name. And it turned out to be someone who I could actually read a bit about. And I felt actually that had been a part of me. So I read a little bit about this person and immediately felt great upset. As you can see, I still have that energy. Even though the public image of the person was quite honorable, for me, it evoked enormous pain. I thought that I had worked through most of that, and then just Monday of this week, I saw a reference to that in something that came in the mail, and it immediately began to trigger stuff again, which I thought I had worked through. So,
before you go further, and you wonder why you don't remember past lives. And next we want to say, you don't know whether that was your past life or somebody else's.
I know.
But one thing is sure, is a vibrational match to where you are.
Yes.
When you talk about healing, can you feel the difference? And everything's fine, you are where you are. But we just want to show you something in an effort to help you lighten up a little bit. And that is, can you feel the difference between saying, I need to effect a healing, and saying, I need to just let go of these oars for a minute? Because letting go of the oars will cause the turning, which will cause the motion toward the well-being, which is what the healing is. When you say, I need a healing, it's so dramatic. When you say, I just need to stop the struggle. So then you say, well, I'm even probing into past lives in order to understand this thing that has been a problem. It's not enough for me to feel it in this life. I've got to dig up other experiences in order to really explain why I should continue to go upstream. And we say,
wasn't looking for it, I didn't think, but
well, you might not look for it, and you might not be asking for it with your words, but nothing comes to you that is not vibrationally active. And so the thing that we're saying to you, there's no wrongdoing here, and we're not counseling you against anything. We're just saying, when you read something that makes you feel bad, stop reading it.
I did.
When you think something that makes you feel bad, try to think about something that doesn't make you feel so bad. You're not ever going to unravel a problem. When you look at a problem and you say, this is something that I need to heal from in this life experience, you will then begin attracting all kinds of others who are also trying to heal from it, even stuff that didn't happen to you, even stuff that has never happened to you, or maybe stuff that has happened to you in a past life. But your inner being is wise enough not to burden you with it when you were born. Why are you trying to dig it up now, you see?
okay.
What possible issue could be so grave that it could cause you so much discomfort when all you've got to do is be the magnificent being that you are and let the stream carry you? What's going on?
For me, it was looking and seeing how unkind she had been to herself, how she had listened to others and really followed the party line and completely negated everything that she was to do what she thought was good. She really thought that was the right way to do it, but
Well, we think it is interesting that you would have this sort of dramatic realization and even do this research just before we are having this conversation about pleasing this one and this one and this one and this one and this one. And certainly you are a pleaser. We're talking about Esther being in that way too. Mm-hmm. But we don't want you to make such a big hairy deal about it. In other words, you know too much now. Every thought that's ever been thought still exists. So everything that's ever been lived in this environment is actively vibrating because there are so many people recording history, reading history, distorting history, rewriting history. In other words, it is such a scramble of thought. And when you tap into it, you're just going to take the ride of whatever it is. It's like having 1 million channels on television that could take you to any subject in the world and you feeling an obligation to explore all of them because they are there. And we say, you have no obligation to explore those channels, and you have the ability to feel how it feels to you when you are exploring them, and if it doesn't feel good, there's no reason for you to explore it whatsoever. Even if you are a physical extension of the same energy that someone else in history was a physical extension of, we promise you that that person was connected sometimes and not connected sometimes. So why now are you relating to their not connection? This connection that we're talking about here is not like a college degree where once you achieve it, it's yours forevermore. It either is or it isn't in the moment. And so everyone, even Jesus, Buddha, Mohammed, all of the greats, Gandhi, and on 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 and on. Sometimes they were in alignment, sometimes they weren't. And what humans often do is find their moment of greatest misalignment, and that's what they write their history about. And then when you tap in and you say, oh yeah, that's my energy, and no wonder I feel this rotten, we say, what happened to the no wonder I feel this great? Those people that are significant enough that they are in your history, we promise you they had a lot going on. They had a stream going, you see. And you can't know. How would it be? Who would you choose to write the history of this time and place? Who would you choose to write the history of what's going on planet Earth right now?
Abraham.
No one would like our point of view. We say, magnificent, it's beautiful, it's the best it's ever been. But the historians, who would you like? Would you like the Israelis to write it? Mm-hmm. The Lebanese? The Palestinians? The Iraqis? Want Saddam to write it? Want George Bush to write it? Want a Republican to write it? Want a Democrat to write it? Who gets to write it? From what religion would they come? Who gets to write the history? And then how accurate would it be for anyone other than the one who wrote it? Only the one who wrote it would believe that it is even accurate. Everyone else would disagree with it. But instead what's happening is that you're all writing your history because you're all living it. And you know what you're writing? You're writing the very best of it. You're writing what your life is synthesizing and what you personally want from it. So the history that has been lived, the present and the past that is being and has been lived, is contributing a future vibrational escrow that is the best synthesis of everything that's been lived. Can you hear that? When you don't want something, you know what you do want. In other words, you and everybody else, as you sift through life, you are contributing to your vibrational escrow. And can you imagine what a vibrational escrow mass consciousness is creating? That's the future of the world. That is the vibrational stance from which the new infants are being born. No wonder they're so smart when they get here. No wonder they're so full of life when they get here. They're the best that all of you have become. They're the culmination of what you are asking for, you see. And so, don't look back, ever. Try to find what's out there in your vibrational escrow.
Can I ask, this person also had gifts that she was able to write, and she had passion, and she went out in the world. If that was symbolic of things going on with me, irrelevant whether I actually was that energy or not, can I claim those gifts?
You can claim those gifts or any other gifts that anyone has put into vibrational escrow. And if something in your environment inspires you to a desire for that, then it becomes yours. You don't even have to wait for somebody to die. You can look at something so that someone is living now and claim those gifts. If this time-space reality has the wherewithal to inspire a desire within you, this time-space reality has the wherewithal to deliver it to you. No exception, you see. But you got to turn in the direction of it. You talked about a healing. And we want so much for you to understand that if healing means moving away from sickness and moving into something that is better, or moving away from sadness and moving into something better, people use healing in a lot of different ways. We want you to hear what we mean, that here's joy and here's despair. And joy certainly would be a healing of despair. Here's wellness and here's sickness, and wellness certainly would be a healing of sickness. Here's abundance and here's poverty, and abundance certainly would be a healing of poverty. So it seems logical that what we're asking you to do is get over here and be healed. It's not what we're asking you to do. What we're asking you to do is stop beating that drum that's got you pointed that way. And when you stop that, the stream will turn you and you'll feel relief. And that feeling of relief is the point of healing. The stream will take care of everything else. So if you're feeling frustration, let it go. If you're feeling anger, let it go. If you're feeling despair, let it go. So if you're in despair and you let it go and the stream turns you, how are you going to feel? You're going to feel relief. But that relief may very well feel like revenge. Because revenge is certainly a relief over despair. And then when you let that go, how are you going to feel? Angry. And when you let that go, how are you going to feel? Less angry. And when you let that go, how are you going to feel? Frustration. And when you let that go, how are you going to feel? Hopeful. When you let that go, how are you going to feel? More expecting, more believing. When you let that go, how are you going to feel? Knowing. Now we're talking about passion, joy, love, appreciation, you see? We know we're asking a lot. We're asking you to accept our knowledge that you are good and that you are worthy and that you always have been and that you always will be. Might be a lot for you to accept. But show it to yourself by letting go and 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 letting go, and then see how good life becomes. And when you're thriving, when you're healthy, when you're intelligent, when you're vital, when you're flexible, when you're rich, when you're popular, when you're having the time of your life, you feel worthy. We have enjoyed this interaction immensely. It is lovely to come together. We've had a very good day together, haven't we? Yes. It is so lovely to come together with those like you who are willing to chew with us endlessly out here on this leading edge of thought. We have literally, we're not kidding you, taking thought beyond that which it has been before. And it is our desire that you relax and allow yourself the benefit of this expansion. You don't need us. You don't even need to know any of this. All you need is to want to feel good and to be willing to find something that does. Because you set it up so well before you got here. You're an extension of something so wonderful. And it is inevitable that things go well for you. And your life extracts from you clarity. And the resources of Source assist you all day, every day. And this little bit of conscious awareness will serve you all of the days of this physical life. Be easy about it. Don't make a big thing about it. Don't seek healing, just seek relief. Don't seek improvement, just seek relief. Don't seek solution, just seek relief. Just hold in your mind the idea of the stream that is flowing mightily toward all of the things that you want, and then just figure out how to get yourself going with the flow. And if you'll focus upon that and that alone, everything that you've dreamed for will manifest so quickly. but it won't be the end of your dreams, you greedy little buggers. For each new thing that comes will bring with it a vantage point from which you will want again. And so it will always be. It always has been and always will be. There is great love here for you. And for now, we remain incomplete.